Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
I'm Jefferson from the Disc Golf World with the Weekend Wrap-Up, recapping everything disc golf you missed over the weekend. Happy New Year, Disc-generates. New year, same disc golf world. But for some disc golfers, the same can't be said. It was only a matter of time before the announcement of Gannon Buhr leaving Prodigy after the whole debacle last year. If you really thought Prodigy was somehow going to keep Buhr, you're crazier than Gannon posting horizontal videos on Instagram in 2024. For those that don't know, almost a year ago, Gannon tried to leave Prodigy before the end of his contract. That resulted in an eventual dropped lawsuit, and after that, it was pretty much silent. Of course, there was even speculation that some said he was even noticed at the Discmania headquarters. Now it's only a matter of time before we find out where Gannon is headed. But for now, it's guessing time. If you haven't watched the video Gannon posted, here it is. But I will say, listen closely.
2023 was an amazing disc golf season. I had 5 disc golf pro tour wins, met some amazing people, and played some awesome courses out there. I also had a ton of fun with my friends on the road. After 7 great years, I will be officially leaving Team Prodigy. At this time, I need to make the choice of a champion to continue to be the leading edge in this sport. I'm a dynamic player, and I believe I need to reinvent my game to be the world leader in disc sports. Make sure to be on the lookout for an announcement soon. I can't wait for the 2024 season, and I hope to see you guys out there.
Hopefully you noticed the different taglines he said in the video referencing every major manufacturer. Choice of champions being Innova, leading edge is MVP, dynamic, which most probably picked up on. The reinvent my game line quickly filled the comments as evidence to a Discmania signing for those that didn't realize the joke after the first watch. And finally, the world leader in disc sports being Discraft. I got curious, so I checked if Gannon followed each brand on social media. He happened to be following each except for one, MVP. Now, in no way am I saying this is evidence of anything, rather just interesting. If the thought was MVP getting Eagle, then they should have plenty of money to get Gannon. And honestly, why wouldn't you want him over McMahon? He's younger, building a fan base, cares about the game, and isn't battling an ongoing injury. I understand the Simon-Eagle relationship, but we as disc golfers gotta let that go. Imagine a Lazat Buhr team, the veteran showing the ropes to the new generation. Doesn't get much more awesome than that. Alden Harris also announced his departure from Prodigy after 6 years. The past 6 years have gone by so fast, from playing in local C tiers and MA2 every week to now heading into my 4th year of full-time touring as a professional. Prodigy was there and believed in me through it all. From the very moment they asked me to be on their street team 6 years ago, they've treated me like family, and I'm forever grateful for it. Although I will always love Prodigy and will miss everyone there, I'm excited for a new chapter in my career. This didn't come as a surprise, as earlier this offseason he was spotted joining Discmania collector pages, adding to the Ganon to Discmania theory, as well as Niklas Anttila leaving Discmania. Either Latitude 64 offered him a lot of money to join the team, or Discmania needs more room for big players. He would go on Instagram to say, "When I started playing in 2015, my goal was clear. I wanted to be good at this thing. I wanted to win Finnish Championship. I could only dream about something bigger like European Championships or Majors. Those dreams scared me, and some of them still do. I also wanted to make disc golf my job. One of my dreams came true in 2021 after winning European Championships in Konopiste, and later that year we signed a 2-year extension with Discmania. I could call myself a professional athlete and play in the US for the last 2 years. I'm so grateful to Discmania for their willingness to help me go after my dreams. However, after 3 Finnish champion titles and a European champion title and numerous memories, it's time to turn a new page in my career. Announcement about my future coming in a few weeks." Alright, time to go full tin hat mode. Why? Because it's fun. So quick disclaimer, this is all wild speculation until further notice. Gannon mentioned 5 different manufacturer taglines. He references 5 wins on tour and follows 555 people on Instagram. Conveniently, House of Discs has an attachment to 5 brands, none of which Buhr references besides dynamic. And I mean, he did say he was a dynamic player after all. I'm probably still drunk from New Year's, but if House of Discs somehow secures Gannon and he is allowed to throw 5 different brand discs, holy shit. Oh yeah, and as of right now, as far as I know, House of Discs hasn't fully acquired Discmania, just produces their discs, which is the same thing that happened to Dynamic at first. If Discmania was acquired, that would make them the 5th manufacturer they would have. Those damn 5s. Okay, Back to reality now. Anthony Barella, now a social media star, tries to teach the young Buhr how to use Instagram. Someone had to do it. Also, dropping my new favorite Gannon nickname. Hope to hear that in the booth in 2024. Drew Gibson, of course, commented, I'm more surprised he didn't leak anything yet, that might be why Buhr doesn't follow MVP. Just saying. But Gannon answered the most important question, stating he ate approximately 3,567 chicken nuggets while on the road. A true professional athlete diet. Prodigy now losing arguably the most promising talent they've ever let go. Watching back the highlight tape they made for Gannon, which I will say was probably the best thing they ever did for him, I realized all that he had accomplished, and to never make him the face of your brand is just stupid. What Gannon was able to do for Prodigy at such a young age was insane. The youngest player to be 1,000 rated, more wins than any other of their players, a US title, and let's be real, actual fans to Prodigy. We had the opportunity to ask Gannon what he was looking for in a sponsor earlier this season, and this is what he said.
You're coming up on a new contract. What are you looking for in a sponsor?
Yeah, just someone that will support me, allow me to kind of maybe design my own line of discs would be really important for me. I want to share my thoughts with the world about how I want a disc for myself to fly or something like that. Just someone that's going to support me well and really get my marketing up there. That way I can market myself as a brand and a pro, and I can kind of build my game from there.
It sounded like Gannon wanted to follow the mainstream of creating his own disc line, which possibly wasn't given to him by Prodigy, but what my takeaway was the marketing. I think it's no surprise that Prodigy sucks at marketing their players. Granted, they've been doing better, but if Gannon could attach himself to a sponsor that could push him out, he could be such a bigger name. Which is scary to say because he already is making waves in the sport. Imagine a better support system behind him, letting him follow his dreams of sharing his thoughts. We of course had to ask him what disc he would first design, just to make everyone even more impatient.
I definitely want to go with something that everyone can throw, which is kind of more like that really overstable approach disc, which is like an A2 what I'm throwing right now is a really good disc. So something like that. Obviously a putting putter is, I feel like, one of my strong suits, so maybe it's a really solid putting putter. Maybe just for myself would be just a crazy overstable driver that still has a lot of glide. It's kind of hard to find those, but you can find them if you find the right ones.
It does seem like both parties have ended the relationship in a respectful manner, which is good, because remember, it started with a lawsuit against a minor. I think this move by Prodigy will be looked back on in disc golf history as a bigger mistake than Discmania letting go Simon. And I think Prodigy is entering a dark age if Isaac Robinson doesn't save their ass. If they don't pour everything into him and his brother, then we won't be mentioning them much longer unless it's on some beat drop by KJ. Parker Welk announces not re-signing with Prodigy, another player with a tour win last season. Finally, I can buy a Parker disc I've been wanting to support for so long. Damn, I don't know how this got negative, so I gotta change the vibes. Comment below where you think Ganon Buhr will end up for the 2024 season and add some reasonings behind it. Innova made their classic New Year's move, announcing all their player signings. Nothing too new besides Bradley Williams and Jessica Weiss getting the bumps up to the star team. Oh, and Emerson Keith was added to the champion team. Twitter will have you thinking this was a leak by Innova, but part of me thinks they just don't do big announcements for that team. Not sure if last season was Emerson's best, but he did get a win, so I was surprised to see him here. I can't remember where I saw this, so take this with a grain of salt, but I thought Buhr's contract ended on the 10th, so for those Innova fanboys still hoping, there is still a shot. But yeah, he's probably just going to Discmania. I know Emerson got that win at OTB, but when looking back at his past season, it doesn't pop like others. No one will be able to take that away from him, but I still think there are plenty of other free agents valued above him, such as Alden Harris or even Chris Clemens. I'm glad to see him sponsored though, and hopefully he can prove himself to be better than the champion team. I am curious in how manufacturers value players. For example, Innova has Coleman, Sexton, and Barsby on the team above Emerson, but they are nowhere near him in the standings. I understand I'm talking about US and world champions, but why not support the players on tour each week more rather than the ones with half a schedule? The Innova strategy seems to be going all in on Calvin and keeping the greats around to keep that choice of champions line hold true, because Heimberg ain't cutting it. Another surprise was Macy Valadiaz not re-signing with Dynamic Discs. She is pregnant, so that will affect her play in the 2024 season. I wonder if this is just a break from the tour for a while. I don't know the situation, but if they didn't sign her because she was pregnant, kind of fucked up. I get it, but still. Chandler Kramer has expressed that he has a new sponsor that he will release sometime soon. Hooligan Discs posted on their Instagram story a picture of Kramer, so maybe we'll see a push from Hooligan this season after they departed from Lone Star earlier in the offseason. Why not pair your brand with a character in the sport? I think it's a great move. That should catch you up on all the latest disc golf offseason moves from the weekend. This is just the start of some big moves being made, so if you don't want to miss out, make sure to subscribe. And if you want a recap of everything that happened in the 2023 disc golf season, check out This Year in Disc Golf right here.